Yes, Bridget, and probably the most prominent question that many people are wondering right now, especially because with, for example, the moment of time we're living in, how is coronavirus impacting women specifically?
Well, women and men obviously have been hit so hard by the pandemic in so many ways, but for women specifically, well, there's a few things. Women make up a huge percentage of frontline healthcare workers, and they are also engaged in large numbers of employment in industries that have been hard hit, like retail and restaurants, to name just two.
Mm.
The other part that is challenging and is probably going to continue to stay challenging is that as companies open back up for work and our societies, come back online again, if businesses open before schools and daycare centers reopen, then that will certainly place an additional burden on all parents, but women especially.
I can see that. I have a 5-year-old son myself, and school's been closed for a few months, and we're not sure what's going to look like in the fall. And that's definitely something on my mind right now for myself as well. And speaking about my personal household, I know that in my particular situation, me and my husband think very differently about money. But we've gotten this question many times in the chat right now. So we also want to know the viewers are wondering, how do women think differently about money than men?
Oh, well, that's a great question. We've talked a lot today about how few people grow up with financial education. This is something Victor addressed this morning. And I think for adult women today, many of them have had an additional cultural barrier when they were growing up in a culture of modesty around money. Many women grew up in households where it is viewed as impolite to be talking about money or talk about salaries or financial ambitions. It would have been maybe considered crass or impolite to talk about this subject, and so many of those women have had to find their financial education and embark on that journey on their own. So I think that men and women often think about money differently, but there are different cultural expectations that men and women grow up with in terms of talking about it openly.
Right. And I know that, as you mentioned, we are having shifts, but it's still something that we need to work very hard on. But I'm really glad to be able to announce that for the people that were willing to answer more about themselves on our registration, our convention for a cause, we estimate is about 60% of attendees are women. So we can
That
see.
is incredible.
Yes, so we're so excited that many women are taking this opportunity, like Convention for a Cause, to be able to learn more and educate themselves. We only have time for one more question here, and this is coming from the audience. Do women and men have different financial goals?
Oh, another great question. Well, I would say often women and men have the same goals, same big goals, things like having a good retirement, not being a burden to their children. I think maybe one of the main differences, and I was listening so closely when you were talking about WSB having 50% female agents, I think the difference here is that historically, many women haven't felt welcome in the traditional financial industry, institutions, Wall Street type of environments. And I know that I have personally interviewed many women who have told me that they've met with a bank loan officer or a financial advisor, and they were underestimated or stereotyped. And many women have told me that when they've gone to meet with someone like that with their male partner alongside them, that their husband or male partner will get all the eye contact and attention, and the woman will not, and will not be viewed as having anything to say. So I think it's changing. It's exciting that it's changing, and WSB is a part of this change. And it's wonderful and exciting that it's happening right now.
Thank you. Well, your awareness and sharing today will definitely empower more women to be able to take charge of their financial future, and hopefully they decide to do that with WSB. And thank you so much. You've been on, our previous conventions with us, and we're so excited to be able to continue our partnership together. So thank you, Bridget.